What is up and welcome back, my fellow alphas. Woo! That's right, alpha men. We're gonna listen to some of their very solid advice and try to just take it all in.
There isn't a woman on planet Earth that doesn't want to be led by their man. This goes across the board.
I could name a couple. I could literally name a couple, me and my girlfriend and I.
100% of the time, women want men who are leaders, and they want those men to lead them. The more that a woman has to tell her partner what to do, how to think, who to be, the less attracted she is to that partner. What women need to really understand is that the reason why they desire this is because it puts them in a feminine space to where they don't need to do the work all the time. Because guess what? Beauty speaks volumes. It doesn't need to do anything. It's already amplifying what's around it. And that feminine state is the most authentic state for a woman. So when the man's a leader, it makes her feel safe. And when she feels safe, she flourishes as a woman.
But what if the woman's a leader?
She's looking for a leader that can
Personally, I feel unsafe.
lead her. You better bet your husband leads you, or else you won't respect him. I'm a leader, so I'm gonna go for a weak man. No, you went for a weak man because you didn't believe that there was a leader that can outclass you. Why don't you feel good enough?
That is a crazy sentence. That was so many crazy sentences at once. Which one do we start with? So like my overall response to this video is basically everybody is different, everybody wants different things, and to sit here and be like, because you're a woman, you absolutely want this is literally so ridiculous. Not everybody wants a partner that leads them and tells them what to do. Some people do. Some people do like to have that space and that energy just to kind of shut their brain off and be like, yeah, tell me what to do. And if that works for you, whatever. But a lot of people still, want their own lives and to lead their own lives and just have a partner to go through life with. And that's also fine. It's the fact that he says, the more a woman has to tell her partner what to do, how to think, who to be, the less attracted she is to that partner is wild to me, because that's the sense where he's like, because she's leading him, but the man should be the one telling her what to do and how to think and leading her through life. As if like a woman shouldn't have a brain and shouldn't be able to have her own thoughts and do her own thing because she has to be led by a man so she can be in her feminine space of just do. The videos like this really make me like, do not look at women as equals. And I can definitely also speak on that from how he says, you don't believe that there was a man that could outclass you. Why don't you feel good enough?
Outclass me.
As if like, if a woman wants somebody more submissive than her, she suddenly doesn't think she's good enough to find a man to outclass her. That's such a wild connection. You have a woman telling you what she wants and how she wants to experience life, and you're like, you just can't find a man that can outclass you. Why do you not feel good enough? We're gonna throw in an absolute buzzword, which is gaslighting. The idea of a woman being like, this is what I want, and a man being like, that's not what you want. This is what you want. And the idea that women desire to be put in a feminine space because beauty speaks volumes. Women are more than just a pretty face. Women are more than just something for you to look at and fondle and be attracted to. Women are actually people with hopes and dreams and things that they want to do with their life. And that's why when you boil women down to needing protectors and providers and needing somebody to lead them through life, you're taking away that humanity. And that's not to say that a woman can't have hopes and dreams that place them in motherhood or place them in a position where they don't want to work. That is absolutely okay. If a woman wants to be a stay-at-home mother and fall into those traditional gender roles, that's okay. That's her specific hopes and dreams. But you are dehumanizing all the women who don't want that. And you're basically being like, it's because you don't think you're good enough. Huh? Also, just the homophobia that exists in blanket statements like this. He's saying all women want a man to lead them.
This goes across the board 100% of the time.
And before anybody's like, yeah, but you're the one in that masculine energy. Like, look at you. You're the one that's like the alpha and the leader in that relationship. I am absolutely not. My girlfriend got me a whole little skincare routine and a whole little hair routine and took me to dinner. Our relationship is very much built off of, equality. Then he goes on to say that like, when a woman can be in that feminine state, it's her most authentic self. And I just think that we need to stop deciding who and what is authentic for an individual. We all have different spaces and energies we feel comfortable in. That's cool, dude.
That's why these chicks dye their hair and get all tatted. They're telling you how poisonous they are. Like poisonous frogs in the rainforest, they lurid bright colors to show you they're poisonous.
Why would they do that?
Because it's like they're wearing their trauma.
They're basically seeking help.
100%, it's a cry for help.
If you're a woman and you cry, people are gonna help you. People are gonna come, they're gonna feel sorry for you, they're gonna wanna help you. You see a man crying?
By this logic, you shouldn't be able to get a haircut because you are changing something about yourself. We have a classic in here, which is shitting on alternative women, which a lot of these podcast alpha men bros seem to do. And it's funny because they're saying they lure you in with bright colors to show you they're poisonous. Whereas, like, if I had to take a guess, most of these alternative girlies don't fucking like you. You are the opposite of the kind of man, if they even like men, that they would ever want to attract. Like, you are the kind of person that the alternative scene fucking despises, and to sit here and be like, we don't want you because you're poisonous. They don't want you because you're fucking toxic, dude. Like, they're trying to lure us in, but we don't want them. Like, huh? No, they're not, bestie. Also, the whole idea that, like, colored hair and tattoos and piercings mean that they must have, like, deep-seated trauma and they're gonna ruin your life. It's like when alternative girls, I've seen one of my mutuals actually talking about this recently on TikTok, where just existing, they get those guys that like text them and are like, haha, you look like the kind of girl that's gonna ruin my life. And it's just like, ick. Oh no, somebody likes having colored hair and tattoos and piercings. Obviously they have to be some horrendous person. It's funny because like I have piercings and I have tattoos and I used to dye my hair all the time, but at the same time I had a 4.0 GPA. I had a job, I was in college, I was a part of many groups such as like leadership, ASB. The kind of like outward appearance I have was not on track with what these people think you are as like a personality. And I just think that's very interesting. When I go out into the world, I say please and I say thank you and I help people when they need help. Like I'm not somebody who ignores that, right? I'm a very polite person. And this kind of person is like, these kind of people are toxic and trauma-filled and are just here to ruin your life. And it's like, what about you, dude? You're the kind of person that would get on a podcast and sit here and simply shit on somebody for how they prefer to dress and look, and yet you want to turn that around and be like, they're the toxic ones because they color their hair? And also the idea that colored hair is a cry for help rather than just like, ooh, I like the color pink. I think I'm gonna make my hair pink this week. Aesthetic choices do not just correlate to, I have trauma. And that's not to say like these people don't have trauma. You probably have trauma. Trauma is something that stems in people's lives from all different kinds of things. I think everybody has some kind of trauma, and there are like different levels to what that is. And then they go into the, if a woman cries, they're gonna help you. If a man cries, they're not going to. But who built that system? Men built that system. You want to talk about how like, oh, if a man cries, nobody fucking cares. Maybe stop laughing at men who are crying. Maybe offer a helping hand to men that are crying. Maybe stop telling men that they have to be hyper masculine and they can't have emotion because nobody cares about their emotion. Maybe instead of saying all that, care about their emotion. Maybe then you would see a change in the thing that you bring up so often in these arguments, because men's mental health does matter, but when you talk about it in a way where it's like, well, nobody cares anyway, so we should bottle it up, and you completely deplete the point that you're trying to make.
I did 1 year with my ex-girlfriend. She's an e-girl, and she was locked in a basement. She's like, because she knew, she's like, if I date Zerka, I'm never going out again. She's locked in a basement for a year. And she tried to cancel me and say that was abusive in her basement, not mine. Right? Oh,
well, who put her in the basement?
I did. What do you mean?
Put lotion in the basket.
No. What the fuck? I didn't. No. It's not like I threw a fucking net over her. I said, if you date me, you'll be in the basement.
What the fuck?
She already had a room in the basement at the time, but I said you can't go out. That's what I mean.
Oh, can't go to the bar and club.
Yeah. And so where did I take her? Cancun, Vegas, LA, $80,000 trips. But she tried to cancel me.
All right.
Because she said that's after a year, I've had enough of this relationship.
Yeah.
I said, you didn't have enough of it with the 9 expensive luxury trips I took you on, you fucking dumb bitch. Why did you quit in a $2,000 a night resort, you fucking dumb skank? Why did you quit when you went back to the basement?
There's so many things to say about this. First of all, the way he talks about it, about how like I put her in the basement, it's already like an abusive narrative he's using, and he doesn't even realize that. He's literally sitting there saying, well, I'm the one who put her in the basement. He's like, well, I didn't put her in a net. I just emotionally said, you can't fucking go anywhere. I just told her what she can and can't do with her life on a cosmic level, not like, oh, let's set boundaries. Oh, not like, let's compromise. No, like you are locked in your basement and that's where you're gonna live our entire relationship because I'm insecure and I have trust issues. And then we can hear how he talks about her at the end where he's calling her like all these like very horrendous fucking names, like not just even light kind of names. Like, he's calling her a skank. Like, that's pretty fucking wild. Because she broke up with him because she was tired of putting up with him wanting her to live her whole life in a basement because of his own insecurities. And then he goes on to talk about, well, why didn't she stop you for these trips? She probably was attracted to you or was into you at some point and wanted to be with you. It's wild because these men are like, all they want is my money. Clearly not if she left you after a year. If she tried to be with you and tried to put up with your ass and then after a year was like, I'm not doing this, that's clearly not what she was after because she left. If she was after the money, she would have stayed for the money. And you know what? She probably had a good time on those trips. She probably was living it up. She probably was in love with you during those trips. She probably was having fun with you during those trips. She probably had fun with you when you were being kind, when you were being generous, when you were being thoughtful, and she probably was getting tired of when you weren't. Like, when you tell your partner you can't go out, you're basically saying your entire life has to revolve around me and what I want and what I want us to go do. Because the only time she's allowed to go out is with you, meaning that when you're busy, when you're working, when you're off doing whatever the fuck you want to do, she's stuck in a position where she can't fucking do anything. And then you're shocked, she comes out and she's like, yeah, I felt very, very abused being told that I couldn't do anything with my life while in a relationship. There is nothing more alpha than listening to a man telling you how to sit. Trust me, there is nothing more alpha than being so worried about how you sit that you change your entire body language to make it seem like you're more confident than you really are. Because in truth, you're anxious and you're in your head being like, fuck, is this right? Is this good? Shit, maybe I should put my arms out a little bit more. Maybe I should take up a little bit more space. Yeah, is she looking at me? Yeah, I think she's looking at me. Yeah, that doesn't feel very fucking cool and alpha to me. It sounds like you just have fucking anxiety, buddy, which me too. I get it. When I go out in public, sometimes I'm like, oh, am I sitting kind of funny? Maybe I should move my leg a little bit. But I'm not a fucking alpha, and I would never call myself fucking alpha. That's anxiety. To be so worried about how you're sitting and how you're presenting to the general public, who, by the way, do not give a fuck about you. These people that are walking by while you're sitting on this fucking bench, these people just trying to go to Target, they don't care about you. They're worried about getting their Caesar salad kit. Like, you don't matter. You are just a blip in their day. Yet you are so concerned and worried about how you're sitting because a man on the internet told you to be, so you could be more alpha. You're watching a video on another man telling you to be more anxious and concerned about how you're sitting and to basically sit more like a douchebag because taking up space is not considerate. You see this small couch, it could probably fit 2 people comfortably, 3 if you squeeze. Now imagine there's another person on this couch and I decided to just fucking go like this. That's inconsiderate. That's being a dick. That's being rude. There's nothing alpha about making people more uncomfortable so you can feel cooler.
You absolutely need to cheat on your girlfriend.
If you're wondering if there was more to that video or more context, there wasn't. This is the full video, and this man posted it. This wasn't like a clip taken from something else out of context. This is a video this man chose to post, and his whole page is like, how to be alpha. It's so strange because when you like watch these alpha videos, you can see that none of them actually have coherent connection to those thoughts. The first man was like, you gotta be a protector and a provider, put your girlfriend in that feminine space. Obviously we talked about why that's kind of like stupid, but then you jump to this guy who's like, just fucking cheat on her. Just fucking, dude, you don't need that bitch, fucking cheat on her. Show her that you are the man. Show her that you can do what you want and she has to chase after you. Just fucking cheat on her. Like, none of these people have a coherent set of morals, and that makes it even funnier to me is to have this category of this is how to be an alpha man, and then all of it is like dissenting opinions. Don't cheat on your girlfriend. If you find somebody that you love and you cherish, treat them like the fucking queen that they are because they can leave you, and they will. if you do not treat them how they deserve to be treated. And the same goes for you. Find somebody who treats you well. Find somebody who treats you like a fucking queen or a king or whatever, however you want to be treated, you know? And then hold on to them tight and love them and treat them just as good.
If your man woke you up at 2 a.m., he said, baby, can you cook me a meal? Would you cook your man a meal if he woke you up at 2 a.m.?
No. Just being honest.
What about you, Kiki?
It all depends on how I'm feeling.
All right, it depends.
Oh, another depends.
It depends on the situation.
Here's another question. If an intruder broke inside the house, would you or would you not expect your man to go downstairs and handle that break at the door? Natasha.
Absolutely.
Allie.
Yes.
Kiki.
All I'm saying is if you don't, it's over after that.
Yeah, I would expect that.
What I've heard was that a woman's wifey duty is based off her feelings, right? It depends on how I feel. But the man's duty of protecting you, it's mandatory. How is it a fair deal?
These are so different. Like,
Yeah,
one is like
they're
not even
not.
the same. The one is like you're both about to die, maybe.
Right, and if you don't
and the
do
other
it,
one
you're
is
gonna
you
die
might
too.
not eat.
So it's not about the situation. It's about what the man is attracted to, and it's about what the woman is attracted to. The man is attracted to femininity, submissiveness. The woman is attracted to masculinity, protecting and providing. So if you're not giving what we are naturally attracted to, it's not a fair deal if we have to always give you what you're naturally attracted to. That's going to protect you. Make sense?
The way that they tried to explain, that's a very different situation. And he was like, the situation doesn't matter. Yes, it fucking does. To take a life or death situation and then to take, I'm gonna wake you up at 2 a.m. and tell you that I want a sandwich because I'm on my video game and I'm hungry. The situation does matter. I kind of feel like dinner. Can you get the fuck up and make it for me? Versus somebody's downstairs trying to kill our family. That is an entirely different situation. And at the end of the day, if the man decided not to protect her, not to do something, she would still go into survival mode. She would still try to save her own life. She would still try to find her own protection. It's not even comparable. And then he goes on to about how it's like, oh, based on attraction. If we want to go based off these traditional like gender roles that he's setting up for these examples, which, by the way, once again, everybody's attracted to different things. The man isn't always attracted to femininity and submissiveness. The woman isn't going to always be attracted to protection and masculinity. It is very much a person-by-person case and how people like live their life. But if we are going to take what he says as fact, why not just choose two things that are actually comparable? Oh, babe, wake up at 2 a.m. and cook me a full meal versus like, wake up at 2 a.m. and fix this like door handle that's kind of creaking for me. Do you see what I mean? It is a totally different thing when you take a context that's actually equivalent. If you woke him up at 2 a.m. and said, hey, can you fix this squeaky door hinge? Because I want you to do it right now and I find it hot that you have the power and the ability to fix things around the house. He's probably gonna look at you and say, no, go the fuck back to bed. All right, we got one more.
Being a single woman is not a compliment in every case. I'm sorry, it's just not. It actually raises a lot of red flags, to be honest. Because now you got your counterparts and your peers asking behind your back if you even capable of keeping a relationship, keeping a man and keeping a woman, etc. See, a lot of y'all felt triggered by that settle video, which was eye-opening to me because obviously we have a lot of women living in the state of delusion, thinking that they just gonna find the most perfect man ever. And if not, and they can't find that, they'll just be single, as if that's supposed to do any type of advancement to our society. Ask yourself, what is your purpose on the earth as a woman if you're not seeking some type of family, and especially family of your own? Like, what exactly are you trying to accomplish on this earth? Are you trying to be masculine or what? Like, what's the deal?
First of all, we have to look at the ratio. 43,000 comments to 7,000 likes is crazy. Like, the way he's saying, it really opened my eyes to the way that all of you are wrong, to how everyone else but him is wrong.
Obviously, we have a lot of women living in the state of delusion.
Like, this is the kind of delusional fucking mindset that blows my mind. When you have 43,000 people being like, hey, bud, this is not a great take, and him being like, no, you're all stupid. Women are allowed to be single because, once again, their life doesn't have to revolve around men or building a family. They're allowed to want careers. They're allowed to want to experience the world. There are women who want to do these things before having a family. There are women that never want a family. And to the question of, then what are you doing on this earth? Living their life? The idea that the only value women can give to this earth is children is such an archaic ideology. Like, women can work through the medical field, they can work through the environment, they could work helping the homeless, they can work in architecture, they can work in engineering, they can work in all these different fields that do help the world in some way. The problem is you're only looking at women through their value of having children. You're only looking at women as basically a breeding program. Women are people. I can't believe we have to say this in 2024. Also, the idea that just like somebody living their life and enjoying their life isn't enough is so wild to me. The thought process that every single person in this world has to leave some massive legacy or has to do some massive change. Some people are just worried about having a good life. Some people are just worried about paying their rent this month. It is such a mindset to sit here and be like, how are you gonna completely change the world? And if it's not through having a family, then your life is meaningless. There are people who don't even know how they're gonna eat their next meal. And you're telling them that they need to go figure out a life goal of having a family? It's just disgusting. And then obviously we have the diss at the end that's like, what do you want to be, masculine? So what the fuck if some women do? I guess I'm the spokesperson for that, huh? I'm sorry I like to cut my hair and the arms off my shirts. It makes me feel pretty. And it's okay if you don't find me pretty because my girlfriend finds me pretty. Like, women are allowed to live their lives in whatever way they feel fit for them because they're not just made for you, in your opinion. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. All my socials will be in the description. And like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see some more content. I'm trying to get out more. Let's see if I can do it. I will talk to you guys later.